Hello guys, in this video we're going to be decorating a vintage heart cake. The flavour is vanilla sponge with a vanilla mock Swiss meringue buttercream. Oh, and the cake is 7 inches by the way. For anyone new here, I don't actually use a heart pan to make my heart-shaped cakes. I cut them myself from a round pan, and I do actually have a tutorial in my tutorials playlist if you also want to make a heart cake and you don't have any heart pans. The reason why I don't use heart pans is because I don't have the space. I've already infiltrated my whole kitchen with my equipment. If I put more pans in that kitchen, my mom will pop a blood vessel. But anyway, this cake is for a gender reveal, hence the pink buttercream. Surprise, it's a girl. Don't worry, the customer's already cut the cake. Can you imagine if I just spoiled the surprise like that? And I did in fact eat that piece of cake that just fell out. Yeah. After filling the cake, I put it in the fridge for like 15 minutes so it was nice and sturdy. And then I did the crumb coat. And while I was filling the cake, actually, I made sure to make sure, Jane, what I meant to say was I made sure that no pink buttercream was spilling out of the sides so that it didn't bleed into the crumb coat. This is a gender reveal at the end of the day. So I just wanted to make sure that nothing was peeking out since the final layer is also a very light color. Speaking of the final layer, it's time for the final layer. So after the crumb coat, I put the cake in the fridge for like 20 minutes so that it was fully firm. And now I was just applying my final coat. The color is quite hard to tell with this lighting, but it's like an off-white, beige, creamy color. And I made it using an icing whitener, some purple, and caramel latte. When I started the final coat, it was like 2 a.m. So at that point, I was way too tired. I stopped and I continued on in the morning and I did a final scrape with my warm metal scraper just to smooth everything out. And look at her, she's smooth. Now it's time for the piping. My customer said they wanted a vintage cake and they gave me complete free reign. So I was ready to do the absolute most. And I'll put all of the piping tips in the video. So if you just look at the screen, they're gonna be there, okay? I used to do a heart cake every day, like to the point where I was known for my vintage heart cakes. And I was getting tired of them. I was like, every day a heart, damn. But then now, I haven't done a heart cake in so long. I felt like I was out of my depth. I was literally telling my best friend, I feel like I've lost my sparkle. I don't know what I'm doing. My piping isn't great anymore. And she literally had to tell me, Jane, shut the hell up. What are you talking about? That is your inner saboteur talking. So once she snapped me out of it, I just let my brain do what she does best and be creative. I definitely want to start decorating my content cake again though, just so I can get back into the swing of things and practice my piping. So if you've seen any gorgeous cakes you want me to recreate, tag me or leave your suggestions in the comments. But back to the cake. Here I'm using my 4B piping tip to do this chunky shell border. And then I thought the cake needed more. So I did another shell border on the inside. And before anyone says anything, vintage cakes always have a lot of piping. I like to call it decorative icing because if it's me, I'm taking all of this off. Yeah, I don't like to eat icing with my cakes really. So I'm just doing it so people are like, wow, this cake looks gorgeous. And then you take it off and eat it. No big deal. After I stepped back and looked at the cake, I thought it looked a bit top heavy. So I did some drop lines in between each arch. And I've never done this before, but I absolutely love it. It just looks so Victorian in the best way. In fact, this whole cake reminds me of like a Victorian child who dresses up in those really ruffly outfits. It's so cute and gender neutral, so it works. Because the curves in these arches are so deep, I'll start piping in a downward motion, stop halfway and slightly adjust the angle of my hand and then pipe upwards. And this just ensures that the curve is really uniform. And then I used a little paintbrush just to tuck in that ruffle. And yeah, I was absolutely obsessed. But wait, I had ordered teddy bears and beige polystyrene balls for this cake and they did not come in time. The delivery man was nowhere to be seen. Luckily, I had this spare teddy bear that I could use, but do you know when you have an image in your head of how the cake should look like and it doesn't give that? Yeah, so I was a little disappointed, very disappointed actually, until I heard a sudden noise as I was boxing up the cake. What do you know? My Amazon delivery arrived literally 15 minutes before the customer got here. I quickly took the cake out of the fridge, added the balls, added the teddy bear, and now my vision came to life. Like, you cannot tell me this cake is not absolutely gorgeous. And the matching cupcakes as well, guys. I think I actually outdid myself on this one. As always, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, cuties.